This video is sponsored by Skillshare. I always get asked to do a what's on my iPad video, but since I never really changed the apps I use on a daily basis, I always put this video off. My last video like this was last year, and the only thing that really changed was my workflow. I have the 2020 11-inch Ipad Pro, and I think that this is the perfect size for me since I travel a lot with it and it's way more manageable. I have the space gray model inside. We have 128 gigs of storage, which is plenty for my use case. Speaking about case, I also opted for the Magic Keyboard, and it's actually the Magic Keyboard that made me fall in love with the Ipad Pro. When the 2020 Ipad Pro was just released, I bought it. I actually returned it because I found myself barely using it. Then Apple announced the Magic Keyboard, and I was like, okay, let me give it another try. And now here we are, 1 year later. I would 100% recommend the Magic Keyboard. It makes the iPad feel more like a computer, and you can actually get so much work done in terms of replying to emails, signing forms, typing up essays, and even writing scripts like this one for the what's on my iPad video. I've been also using the paper-like screen protector since day one. It really makes the drawing and writing experience way more natural since it really feels like you're writing on paper. It also helps protect my screen from scratches and dings, so whenever I'm ready to resell this iPad, I know my screen will be 100% in perfect condition. I also have a link down below in the description if you want to check out Paperlike. It's really good. Now, let's jump on to the apps. I wanted to go for a very minimal and functional home screen. Since the iPad doesn't have so much home screen customization options, I just decided to put everything into folders, and I removed all the clutter from my home screen, like all the stock Apple apps, which I rarely ever use. Also, this wallpaper is actually from Google. It's the new 2021 Ipad Pro Wallpaper, and I'm using it for now since it makes me feel like I have the new iPad.
Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
How would they know? How would they know? How would they know? I can't. Oh my god!
Okay, so the first folder is all of my Google apps, and I'm a huge Google ecosystem fan. I use Google Chrome a lot. I use Google Docs, Google Home, Google Photos, Google Search, Google Drive, Remote Desktop, Google Translate, and Google Assistant. They're all essential apps to me. With the Google Home, I use that to control automation around my house. For example, to turn off my lights on and off when needed, to change the colors, to set the mood. I also use Google Maps. It's self-explanatory. I just think it's way better than Apple Maps in my humble opinion. Please don't roast me in the comments. Google Photos is the best cloud storage solution for your photos and videos. I've been using it since 2015. Have all of my pictures backed up in there, and it's just a great thing that syncs all across my devices. It also has unlimited high quality storage for free, which is insane. So I've been using that since day one, and so much memories is in there, and every new phone I get, download Google Photos, all my pictures are just stored there. Really nice. Google Meet is there for whenever I want to take business calls, and Google Drive is where I store most of my important files and documents for YouTube. But the coolest app in this folder though is Google Remote Desktop, and this lets me control my PC from wherever I am in the world. I could just come onto here, send files if I have to. My favorite thing to do with this though is to shut down my PC whenever I'm in bed, because I'm just super lazy. But yeah, it's like you have a Windows PC on your iPad. It's really cool, and also kind of functional. You can check your files, your pictures, send emails, all that stuff. It's really useful. Definitely check this one out. And lastly, we have Google Assistant. I think it's way more advanced than Siri, so it's my main assistant device that I use. I use it to control all my smart home devices, and they're all powered by Google, so this comes in handy so I could speak to my devices. Jumping on over to my butterfly folder, this is like all my social media apps. I don't use them that much. I mostly keep them here for notifications, but we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, which I still can't believe doesn't have a native iPad support. Like, just look how dumb I look trying to use the Instagram on the iPad. I also have the YouTube Studio app to check all my analytics, my beautiful comments sometimes, and I like to use the Reddit app to check my favorite communities to see what's going on, like the cryptocurrency subreddit, to make sure I'm not missing out on the next Dogecoin successor. I also have Netflix on here, but I've been using Amazon Prime Video more recently to watch movies and TV shows. I definitely recommend watching Without Remorse. It's an action movie starring Michael B. Jordan, and the fights and the cinematics in there was crazy good. Sound effects, all of that is really nice. I definitely recommend you guys to check that one out. I also use The Zone, and this app is what I use to watch sports and like soccer, tennis, all that stuff. It has live sports on it, highlights. That's also really good. And Twitch is like my most used app in here since I love video games. So I'll just sit down and like for hours watching other people play video games. Yeah, I know I'm weird. I also stream on Twitch at least 2 times per week. So if you'd want, you could go and follow me on there. My name is Siobhan Salmon on Twitch. So yeah, go ahead and follow my Twitch. Then we have a couple of games I never play too often. Well, Fortnite. RIP in the chat for Fortnite, guys. And we also have COD Mobile, which is kind of fun. I like to hook up my controller and drop 20 kills like I'm my boss. It's hooking up a controller to COD is like cheating, but it's really fun. Now, enough of the fun, let's jump on to productivity. And well, to be honest, productivity is kind of fun as well. So in my productivity folder, I have a couple of apps that I use for note taking, and basically apps just to boost my productivity skills like Skillshare. And thanks again to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Skillshare is an online and learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people like you. For those of you who have been watching the channel for a while now, you know I'm really big on personal development and building new skills in everyday life, and Skillshare is a great resource for both of those things. Skillshare has a wide variety of different classes ranging from editing, filming, painting, how to make videos like this, how to boost your productivity. If you want to become a pro, go to Skillshare. The class that I'm hooked on recently is YouTube Success with MKBHD, who's actually a well-known YouTuber. I can relate to him as well because I've been watching his classes. It has helped me to improve my filming process, and since then I've been way more productive and my workflow has increased a lot. I love watching classes on Skillshare because there's no ads. They're always launching new premium classes like this one with MKBHD, who'd have thought. So if there's anything you always wanted to learn or get better at, then Skillshare is the perfect place to start learning. Skillshare is also really affordable with an annual subscription costing just $10 a month, and of course you guys know I got you. So the first 1,000 subscribers to click the link down below in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare premium membership, so you could go out and explore your creativity. And thanks again Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so right next to Skillshare we have Photomath, and that comes in clutch when I'm helping my sister to get her math homework done. It basically solves simple math problems with AI, which is really cool. Now Grammarly is also another app that I use to help with my low IQ, and this helps me to fix any grammar errors I have or might have when I'm sending an email or whenever I'm finished writing a script. I'd like to just copy and paste everything into Grammarly just to make sure everything is perfectly fine. Then it gives us scores to make sure that my grammar is good, how the sentence structure is, and all of that. Then we have Microsoft Word for checking my documents, Microsoft Teams, and also Zoom for whenever I need to hop into meetings. And those are self-explanatory, so I won't really go into it. Moving over to my camera folder, this is where I have all my creative apps like Photoshop for iPad, Lightroom for iPad, which I actually use a lot to edit my thumbnails. It basically has all the features you find on the desktop version. I use Procreate also to sketch thumbnails ideas with my thumbnail editor. So whenever I need like cool thumbnails and I have an idea, I jump onto Procreate, send it over to him, then he makes the magic happen. So that's really nice. So I know you see VSCO right here, but I don't use it that much. Facetune is a really cool photo manipulation app. It's almost like Photoshop on steroids for mobile devices. And finally, we have the Sony Imagining Edge app that I use to control my camera whenever I'm taking pictures or recording my videos solo. It's a great viewfinder, a big viewfinder since it's on the iPad. Right next to that is my finance folder, and this is where I have all of my apps for finance and banking, like my TD app, which is my bank, Toronto Dominion Bank. You have the Mint app to track my spending, and my spending is ridiculous this month. Like, I need to fix it, but yeah, Mint is really good. It breaks everything down to categories, so you know where your money is going, and also you can see your income as well. I definitely recommend it if you want to keep track of your spending. It's like probably one of the best apps out there since it links right to your bank account. The Scotiabank apps are in here, of course, because I also use Scotiabank. I use the My Rogers for my internet, my Telus for my phone services, so I don't miss my bill payments. Also, we have apps like PayPal, MoneyGram to send and receive funds, and we have apps to spend money on like Amazon and Kijiji. I think I use Amazon a little bit too much, especially since we're in lockdown. I just be bored at like 12 a.m. and just buy stuff for no reason. Finally, we have the settings app off to the side, which is easily accessible for me. And to be honest, if I wanted to, I could have just left my home screen blank, because Spotlight Search is so smart. You just pull it down and it also shows you your recently used app, your Siri suggested apps. And I already know what apps I have on my iPad, so I could just easily type it in. But I just love to have everything in folders. It kind of makes everything look organized and way easier for me to think when I open my iPad. Off to the left hand side is where I have all my widgets. Last but not least, guys, we have the dock, and these apps down here are the most important ones, and also there's apps that work best together with split screen mode. So YouTube for watching my videos, of course. Right next to that we have Discord. I also love the new Spotify update. It looks really minimal and modern. Good job, Spotify. I also have Google Docs in the dock, no pun intended. I'm not a rapper, but I just love having those apps down in the dock, because then you could invoke split screen mode. If you have an app on your home screen, you can't really use the split screen mode, so it's best to just have them chilling on the dock. Finally, I have my junk folder off to the right side, which just has a bunch of miscellaneous apps that I only keep for notifications, or some apps that I just want to try. It all just lives there. And yeah, that's basically it. And also, I will be getting the 2021 iPad Pro 11-inch with the white magic keyboard. So if you don't want to miss that video, make sure you guys are subscribed. Also, let me know your favorite apps that you found on today's video, or any apps you'd like to recommend to me. Drop them down below in the comments. And as always, guys, love, peace, and tweaks. Signing out.